get everything in one go, guys. There's more. I'm gonna leave the salmon and bread.
No.
Fuck it, I can get it. It can be done.
No, no way. Are you serious?
No.
Thank God it didn't break. Let me do it. Yeah, buddy.
That shit. That's where you make the real gains.
Major key. And I've been pushing her away, but she ain't hearing what I say. I give her nothing in the world, but she still don't mind. I said it's going down the drain, but it ain't sinking in her brain. Major key. And she can't see me fade away, so she's still all mine. Still all mine. But you're still all mine. But you're still all.
What's up, guys? Welcome to my shop. I'm going to run through these things just freeball. I'm going to explain to you why I get these things and how they help me with my cut. So first things first, I always get a pack of water. If you're like me and you drink a lot of water, you want to stay away from the tap water. Whether or not you believe it, they put fluoride in the water, and if you're drinking kind of 4 or 5 litres every single day for years and years on end, it's going to take a toll. So I just stick with bottled water. This is about £2 for 6 bottles, and that's going to last me a good while. So moving on, veggies. Asparagus is my veggies of choice. Also fine beans. Vegetables are major key. Why? Because one, they're very high volume and low calorie. So that means you can have lots of them without having a big impact on your calorie input for the day. So I generally just have like one of these packs per meal. It's about 30 calories. It's nothing, and it just loads up my stomach, keeps me fuller for longer. I'm just gonna grab these out freeball. It's not gonna be in any single order, so don't judge me. Sweet potatoes. Very, very good source of carbs. Probably the best source of carbs in my opinion. They're very, very slow digesting. They keep you fuller for longer. So if you're gonna have a white potato versus a sweet potato, you're gonna get hungrier quicker with the white potato. Why? Because the sweet potato absorbs over a longer period of time, keeping you fuller for longer. It's harder to digest, and it also has a higher carb content. Meats. I've gone with the lower fat percentage this week. I have been doing 20% fat, but it's very, very high in calorie. So I've actually decided to take it down to 12%, just so I can get more calories in. The protein's a little bit higher and the fat's a little bit lower, so that's okay for me. I can just add the fats in elsewhere. Things like cheese. They're not the best things for you, but you need those things within your diet. They kind of keep you sane. So whether it's, you know, kind of a little bit of chocolate with your oats in the morning or anything like that, maybe a little bit of honey, whatever it is. For me, it's just a little bit of tiny cheese. I only probably put about 10 grams of this just to kind of add a little bit of flavour. Going for the Applewood smoked cheddar. It's absolutely gorgeous. You guys should try it. I wouldn't recommend this if you're trying to be the healthiest person in the world, because it does have saturated fats, but you know, you've got to have something in your diet that kind of keeps you sane. Moving on, seasonings. Now seasonings are probably the most important part of this diet. I've gone with the mojito lime, got the Brazilian barbecue, and I always go for the Fajita Old El Paso barbecue seasoning. I just throw this in with my beef. It really adds a new dimension to the dish. You can have the same dish over and over and over and over again, but you can have a different meal. You know, one day I've got my Brazilian chicken, one day I've got my lime chicken, all this kind of different versions of the same dish really. So if you can find seasonings that you like and you enjoy, stick to them, and then you're gonna enjoy that. So that's pretty much it for me. I just stick with these, and I kind of just try new things every now and again. Sometimes I find a new one and I'll stick to that. So seasonings. Seasonings. I got a couple packets of just microwave rice. I never usually actually have microwave rice. The only reason why I do get microwave rice is because sometimes I wake up late, or sometimes I've got a lot to do in a day and I don't have time to cook my rice in the morning, so I can just take one of these with me to work, bang it in the microwave, and it's absolutely sorted. The microwaves aren't too bad. The only thing is it's got a little bit more salt than normal basmati, so just be aware of that. And just some garlic salt, like I said, with the seasonings. One done. Total yogurt. I use this as like a batter, so I kind of put those seasonings with this and then coat my chicken in it. Just keeps it on the chicken a bit more. And it's not too bad for you. It's got a little bit of carbs in it, but to be honest, it's very low calorie. 100 grams, only 57 calories. I'll probably have about 30 grams per piece of chicken, so there's about 10 calories in what I have. Almond milk. Almond milk. So I've got here sweetened and unsweetened almond milk, depending on the day. If I've got a few more calories that I want to throw around, I use the sweetened one, but usually I'll go for the unsweetened. Good alternative to milk, low calorie, also has good calcium in it, vitamin B12, B, and D, didn't realise that. 13 calories per 100 ml, so it's very good. I'm not really a big fan of milk anymore after seeing a few videos, you guys know, so I just stick with almond milk. Tin tomatoes, I use these to make bologneses. There's literally like, let me just check quick. Yeah, so there's 29, there's only 100 calories in one of these tins. I'll probably use half a tin for a meal. So I can make a bolognese, you can make a chili. It doesn't need to be hard, guys. If you season it right and you have half of one of these tins, you've got a full chili and a full bolognese while you're cutting, so it's easy. Just gotta think about it. Nando's sauce. This is, again, I've kind of put 10-20 grams of this with some of the total yogurt that we had earlier. It just makes a nice paste and we just add on. Again, this is quite low calorie, so per serving there's only 15 calories. I actually have less than a serving size, so it's really kind of insignificant, especially when you're training quite hard, quite heavy. Salad, just have salads every now and again. To help me get through this water, to be honest, I actually really like water, so I do drink a lot of plain water, but there's times that water just doesn't really kind of taste nice. I just use kind of no added sugar, Tesco flavouring, apple and blackcurrant. I try to use as little of this as possible, because the sweeteners aren't great for you. This will literally last me 3, 4, 5 weeks, maybe, long time. Dijon mustard. Mustard is very low calorie, again a very nice condiment that you can try. Better than the kind of full fat mayonnaises, full fat tomato ketchup, things like that. There's a lot of sugar in them, so this is kind of another alternative you can use. Shower gel, because you gotta be clean. Minty shower gel, because you guys know where this goes. You know how it feels. Seeded tortilla wraps, always go for the whole grain. Again, slow absorption rate, just like the sweet potatoes. I use these every now and again. They're quite high calorie. I think there's 368 with 2 of them. Sometimes I kind of prefer to get that from, there's more volume in 400 grams of potato than 2 wraps, and it's the kind of the same calories and same amount of carbs. So I use these when I'm not feeling too hungry, or I don't want to make a mess, I just wrap them up and we're all sorted. Bananas, great fast absorbing carb. I have these pre-workout now. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, if not while I'm having my pre-workout drink. I'll be having a banana with me just to get that immediate source of carbs. I've really noticed a difference in my training from having a piece of fruit beforehand. You can do it with anything, grapes, apples, watermelon, whatever your kind of fruit is. Have about 20 grams worth of carbs, so kind of one of these bananas is probably about 90 grams, 100 grams, which is about 20 grams of carbs. Very, very fast absorbing, helps me with my pump, especially when the carbs come lower, you'll be struggling for a pump, so you want to have these just before you work out. Tomatoes, just for the salads, that's not mine. Mushrooms, love mushrooms, I add them to pretty much everything. Very, very low calorie as well, but high volume. Whole one of these, literally the whole thing is probably like 110 calories or something. Not that I eat the whole thing, but you get my point. It's very, very high volume food. So veggies, high volumes, low calories. Fill your stomach up. Very, very nice. Ice. I use ice probably every day. Sometimes I drink just to make them refreshing, make them kind of satisfy you a bit more, because it's hard to get satisfied when you're dieting a lot of the time. So if you do those little things like add ice to drinks, it's very, very good. Also, I throw them into smoothies. You can make kind of protein ice cream as well if you just put a bit of protein powder with them, a little bit of almond milk, lots of ice. You whip it up in the blender, kind of make a good thick kind of protein shake almost. Avocados. Absolutely love avocados. I have half an avocado every single day in the morning with my breakfast. Very, very good source of fats. My favourite source of fats, to be honest. There's lots of things you can do with them. You can make guacamole, which I do a lot of the time, or I just put them on straight on toast, add a little bit of lime. Perfect. More avocados. Whole grain bread. For those of you guys that follow me on Snapchat, you know that I have 2 slices of whole grain bread, half an avocado, and 3 eggs in the morning. For those who don't follow me on Snapchat, you should do. Here is my Snapchat. I'll either swap these out for oats, which I already have, so I don't buy, or I just keep with these. Again, the volume is not too high. Comparing 2 slices of bread to about 50-60 grams of oats, you'll be much more satisfied stomach-wise and kind of feeling full-wise with the oats. But I'm not a big eater in the morning. I used to be, but while I kind of cut, I kind of fast a little bit and I don't really get too hungry, so I just use the bread. That's it. That's my full shop for cutting. Very, very clean foods. I kind of stay away from like the kind of ready-made meals. I'm not really enjoy those. I'm a good home cook. I enjoy home cooking. I would say this is pretty damn clean food. Maybe besides the cheese, which is processed. You know, pretty, and the seasoning's okay, and maybe some of the condiments, but everything is whole foods. It's all grown. None of it's really processed foods, which really, really helps your digestion, really helps you keep full, and generally better for you. So I paid for all of this food, which will last me probably a week, maybe a little bit more if I'm lucky. This cost me £66.52. Right there, £66.52. I also bought my mum some things. I bought kind of just some yogurt, some fizzy water, and other stuff like that. So that's actually a little bit cheaper. It was probably more around £55. So it's actually pretty cheap, relatively, for a week. You know, just under £10 a day for 3, 4, 5 meals a day plus snacks. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you stick to these clean foods, use these little tips. See you guys in the next one. Peace.